Hey guys, Hack here, and I just want to kind of show off Nanocore. Nanocore is currently in an alpha, so this you gotta take this entire video with a grain of salt. This probably isn't a fair representation of the final product, but it's getting there. Um, a lot of features and stuff are disabled or buggy at the moment because it is in an alpha, but that's to be expected. That being said, uh, for those of you who don't know, Nanocore is a RAT, which stands for Remote Administration Tool. And I just want to kind of go on record here saying that I don't like the term RAT because it is synonymous with malware and malicious use, which Nanocore is not and never will be. Um, that being said, I just kind of want to go into a non-technical overview of what makes Nanocore different. Let's get started. First of all, it runs in 32 and 64-bit. Um, so if you're on a 64-bit system, you're running your server on a 64-bit system and you run Nanocore, it will take full advantage of your system's memory. Unlike a lot of other RATs out there, they run explicitly in 32-bit mode. And if you have a really memory intensive plugin or something running in your corporate environment with 1,000 different computers, that's going to crash and burn very quickly. It's just too limited and you can't do much with it. Nanocore, on the other hand, you use 16, 32 gigs of memory. That opens a lot of doors for you. It has multi-webcam support. If that's something that's interesting to people. I don't know how common that is in other RATs, but it's pretty cool. Actually, this is showing all the desktops and webcams running on this client right here at the moment. You can actually just go ahead and click on these to view them in higher detail. And we can actually, there we go, this auto-focusing. And if you resize this, you'll notice that the quality gets better. It's going to dynamically adjust to the best resolution support on that camera for kind of your bounding area here. And it's running a little bit slowly at the moment. We're only getting about 8 FPS. I think that might be because of the screen recording software I'm using, but you get the idea. So that's pretty neat. What else is different about Nanocore? The interface. If you haven't noticed already, it's really awesome, right? That might sound a little conceited to say, but I love the interface on Nanocore, and I think a lot of other people share my opinion about it. It just looks good. I like it, and I think other people like it too. You can see up here we have little widgets that like right here we have network usage, right? You can just hold the mouse over this and it tells you like how many bytes were sent in that second, and it tracks your total bandwidth usage, the peak, how fast or how much it's currently using. We have different things up here like client activity. It'll show a little graph here for when clients are online or offline, whatever. We're gonna have a weekly poll or monthly poll or something like that, I don't know. But you click this and this bar would fly out here and based on like all the votes. That's pretty cool. Obviously not implemented entirely yet, but it's there. We have this kind of multi-tab system going on. So we have our main tabs on the left here, so like client, system, builder, network, etc. And then inside those we have our sub-tabs, which makes navigation super simple. And it allows us to pack in a ton of content into all of these tabs. We could have probably I don't know, at least eight tabs per main category. So right here 8, 16, 24, 36, something like that. That actually sounds wrong. I think it's 32, but you guys get the idea. What else would make Nanocore different is the plugin system. It has a super in-depth plugin system. The functionality someone could implement really is limitless. It's so powerful, And I know that sounds really cheesy, but it really is. I mean that sincerely. It's something that I know a lot of people are really going to enjoy using, creating plugins for. Um, and it opens so many doors for doing very specific tasks if you need to. And it's not another copycat. Nanocore is different from all the other rats because it's not a rehashed version of last year's rat or a rat from 5 years ago or whatever. They all just kind of copy each other. They see what other people are doing, and their first objective is to implement all of those same features in theirs, and you just kind of get stuck with the same thing. Like, rats really have not changed over the past 20 years. They're all exactly the same. And I went into Nanocore with the ideology that I'm not going to let other rats influence what I'm doing. So I've definitely kind of gone out there and tried my best not to look at other rats and see what they're doing. I've developed all the features just based on what I think would be useful to me. And I figure if they're useful to me, they'll be useful to other people as well. I try to keep in mind my target audience or consumers, which would be corporate environments that want to monitor employees, or home use where you want to monitor your children's activity on the computer or something, or your spouse or whatever, assuming you legally can do that where you are, which hopefully you can. So if you have a 13-year-old son or something, and you just kind of want to keep an eye on him, you could watch his monitors and just see what he's doing, or he might have some friends over. You could check the webcam, make sure they're not in their room smoking pot or something. I don't know. And that's really awesome. In the future, I'm going to talk about some features that I plan on implementing before release. Maybe not before beta, but definitely before the full release. Keylogger support. I think that's really important for monitoring situations. If you're watching your children or something, you want to make sure they're not getting in with the wrong crowds. Cyberbullying is a really big issue nowadays. You want to make sure your kid's not a victim of that, and they're not doing that themselves, on Facebook or whatever. So you put a keylogger on the computer. That might seem morally kind of on a gray line, but you have that option if you want to. And that's, what I'm trying to provide here. So you can, see what Facebook messages they're sending or whatever. You can have it, for specific websites. Just YouTube or just Facebook. You'll get a little notification when maybe they type a certain keyword, like a curse word. And then you could look into it. Otherwise, just don't bother. And speaking of the notification system, I just kind of want to show it off really fast because it looks awesome. Right here I just have some debug code whenever I click the logo. If I click this, you see this is an information notification, and it has just different content in there. If I click it again, this is just like a normal one. Let's see if we get, oh, here's an error one. I don't know, it's kind of neat to see. Sorry about that. You can also, sorry, I have to do it. If I disconnect this client, it'll reconnect here. You see a little toast notification down there when there's a new connection. People love seeing that, so I figured I'd show it off. We also have the builder. I'm really trying not to get too technical in this video. I'll probably do a separate video for developers and stuff. But you can enable debug mode on your outputs. Let me just go ahead and compile this. Let's call it test. Go ahead and disconnect this guy. I actually should have shut down. Darn it. Okay. Shut down. There we go. And we'll run test. We can actually see now if I would do something that would cause it an error, like disconnecting. We get the output here, and it actually logs into this client log. We also get errors in the server log here, if you want. there will be an option to like enable or disable debug mode. Um, but yeah, I think that'll be extremely helpful to plugin developers who are trying to debug their code. Anyways, back to normal people. Um, you know, Nanocore is just, it's going to be this, it already is extremely powerful, but I have so many big plans for it and things I want to do. I just can't wait to get this out there and start working on the actual plugins instead of like recently the past 2 months has really been a lot of internal work with the plugin system and networking, things of that nature. Uh, but I think after the beta is when the real features will really start to come out. And I think people will be impressed. If you guys have any specific questions for me about Nanocore or like what features will be supported or whatever, go ahead and just ask, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. I'm definitely at the point now where I'm comfortable enough with the progress that I'm ready to start talking about that sort of stuff. Um, so yeah, hopefully you guys have some questions for me. All right, see you later.